When you say legacy, a lot of ways what you want to do is be loud and sort of be number one and accomplish all this stuff. But another part of me is saying that, what we want to do is be a good torchbearer for the next generation or for the next person. So be a good bridge. Don't screw it up too much. And so it's this, this individualism versus this community aspect that is, sort of tearing at me constantly. I think a lot of people are probably going through it, which is how do you stand out, but how do you also do something that's better than yourself? And it's hard because you have selfie culture. You have this Snapchat generation. And then you have sort of this old school cultural mentality, which is, be self-effacing, be humble, making sure that I'm doing everything I can so that the next generation can benefit. And I really mean that, in that I want to do as much as I can to look back and say, wow, we created organizations, we created institutions that are still here in 50 years, that not just my children are benefiting from, but my children's children. And it doesn't matter if they remember me or not. It doesn't really matter if my name is on a building. None of that is important because it's just irrelevant. What really matters is that we're making the right decisions for the future. And so for me, it's hard to get outside of that short-termism because it's so embedded in American culture. But I think for me, it's really about how do we create a long-term thought process where we're really thinking about what our actions do for future generations. And so for me, the legacy is really irrelevant. What I really care about is making the right decisions right now for not myself, but for future generations.